safety as I give you a day in the life of facilities maintenance.
Hello there, people who watch facilities maintenance repair videos. So I've just been away for a couple of weeks and I come back to a note that says urgent. All the drains and plumbing and faucets have to be reinstalled in all the bathrooms. I go, well, I never took anything out of a bathroom, so what needs to be reinstalled? Well, the answer to that question is this. Not the sinks themselves, actually, but we've got new countertops. And these are really nice. It's a Silstone product. But I have to transfer all of these old tail pieces back to the sinks, reinstall faucets where necessary, all the rest of that. So, a couple things. I'll take you over to the other washroom, tell you what I'm thinking. So I'm starting in this washroom over here because it's the closest to my office. What has me a little bit concerned is the installing of old parts into new product. I've started taking this apart, and what I'm finding are the rubber seals are quite crusty. Maybe with a little bead of silicone on there before I tighten it up on the bottom, I can get away with it. But I'm debating whether or not I should simply go and order, what I got here, 3 here, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, a dozen new rubber washers, if I can even order them separately, and just start with new rubber washers, which would make life simpler, and simple is good.
1 hour later.
The problem is I cannot find a replacement for these short of buying a whole new tailpiece set. I'll keep looking for a bit, but it may end up that I'm going to have to reuse all of these and hope for the best. I have no idea if this will work or not. But besides the fact that I'm going to have to clean up a lot of these parts before reinstalling them, and there's no way that the overflow is working on this sink, I had a bit of an epiphany, and that is, and I have no idea if this will work or not, but I'm going to take these old rubber seals and just give them a little silicone lubricant bath, which is supposed to be safe for rubber, and see if that can breathe a little bit of life back into them before reinstalling them. I just want to try and make them flexible again. I don't know. For all I know, it could be a dumb idea. Gonna let those soak for a while. I'm gonna go for lunch, and when I come back I'll see what kind of shape they're in, whether they're dissolved or whether they're actually better than they were before. Well, I've washed and cleaned out the tail pieces, so they turned out nice. They're ready for reinstallation. Looking at this piece from that sink there, it's got silicone gooped around here. I'm not sure who thought that silicone was the way to seal this. It's a threaded connection, little Teflon tape, and that's all you need. So I guess I will just go clean this up and put this back together properly. Well, I've taken these out of their silicone bath. Well, I don't know if it made things any better. I don't think it made it any worse either. So I can go ahead and start installing these. And the other thing too is looking at these sinks and the way the overflows are set up. I actually don't need any plumber's putty down here at all. Maybe to provide a little cushioning between these two hard surfaces, but other than that, it's not going to change anything insofar as creating a seal, because the seal isn't created here. It doesn't matter. Water can leak past that. The seal is created where this rubber compression washer meets up at the bottom of the sink below the overflow intake. That is where the seal is. I want to try and be somewhat careful reassembling these things. This wafer here is older. I don't want to break it. This acts as basically a slip surface between this rubber washer and the compression nut that's going to go on the bottom of that. And it's a tight enough fit that you pretty much have to thread it on rather than push it on. Where's my nut? There it is. Okay, I'm going to use 2 hands now one hand to hold on to the tailpiece and the other hand to tighten up this nut. Let's take a look up top and see what, if any of that plumber's putty is oozing out or if it was just a waste. Yeah, so that was pretty much a waste. It's not even filling the cavity behind this piece of the tailpiece and the surface of the sink itself. There's obviously a bit of a void area because the shapes are not the same. So I don't think that plumber's putty is even worth putting in at all. Of course, the sinkhole is not in exactly the same place that the other one was. Pretty close. But if I force this connection here, it will leak. Start with that because it's the most finicky. Theory, providing you've got hands with the G.I. Joe Kung Fu grip, you should be able to just tighten this up hand tight and not leak. Now, I don't know who installed the faucet. Connections seem like they're tight. Let's try them out. Leaves more to be desired. Okay, if you open it up all the way. Okay. Well, so far, I don't have any leaking. The sink appears to be draining. So I think I should be okay to reuse at least the majority of these compression seals. All right, on to the next one. And these P-traps, being as nasty as they are, will require a little bit of cleanup before I reinstall these. Turns out this piece is broken. Right there. So I'll have to replace that before I can reassemble this one. I have a feeling I may find this type of thing on a few of these. I will just mark this one, girls upstairs sink 3. No sense running out to the wholesaler and grabbing the part that I need to repair this one until I've gone through all of them and figured out all the parts that I need. Well, for now, I'll just leave it like this and move on to the others. I picked up 3 of the wall drain tubes because where there's one problem, it's very likely that you're going to come across more. And I even managed to prep and load this correctly with all the different parts and whatnot the first time. But it looks like I am also going to have to cut a little bit off this tail piece because this is sleeved down to there where you can see that little bump out, and it will not go on any further, but it needs to. I need to go at least a ½ inch higher here. My guess is that the depth of the sink is probably sits a little bit lower than the original ones did. Another thing worth mentioning is make sure everything fits properly, hand tight. In other words, get your adjustments in such a way so that everything seats correctly, and then tighten stuff down. Don't use the tightening down process to attempt to make stuff fit. That's when things start to break. Because if everything fits properly, you actually don't have to put as much tension on all of these things as you might think. All right, we're good. Yep, down here in the boys' bathroom. And this is why I bought more than one of these. It's things like this that can make transferring old parts onto new product a pain in the butt. So then you gotta ask yourself, is it worth reusing this faucet? Or are we looking at a faucet that's gonna fail within the next year, and so save myself the trouble and replace it now? And because I have a couple new faucets in inventory, I am going to replace it.
Well, we know it's draining. We'll know very quickly whether or not it's leaking. It's not leaking. And as I'm laying under the sinks in the girls' bathroom, I'm looking down at the far end over there. And there's my third one. It's a good thing I bought 3.
Well, that's all of them. Bathrooms are back in service and everybody's singing in 3-part harmony. Thanks for watching.